Hi, Zizaran here with another video, and today we're going to be teaching Rachel K a little bit about Path of Exile. Rachel, thanks for joining me. Do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hello, my name is Rachel K. I play video games on Twitch. I played a lot of Diablo, and as a lot of us Diablo players came and joined the Path of Exile after we realized we'd run out of things to do. So now we're learning Path of Exile.
That's it. That's a good choice, though. I always say like Path of Exile is like the heroin at the end of the gateway drug that is Diablo. So here you are.
Delicious.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be great. And if we would do anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour of like questions. I know you had some. I think you have a second character too, right? And then you're leveling a new one
I
now.
have two, yeah. I have two. I made my first character on Trade League, and I got spoiled rotten. So I made another one on SSF so I can learn a little bit more. But I actually think that it was good for my first time playing on Trade because it took since there's so much to learn, it actually took like a whole thing less to learn out of it, and then now I'm adding in that second part. Do you know what I'm saying? Does it make sense?
I get it. Yeah, no, SSF is really good because like especially as a streamer, your viewers will very much want to like give you stuff which can kind of ruin your experience.
Yeah, well, it was cool to see what everything kind of does. I mean, I got I got like headhunters and mage bloods, and I'm just like running around not knowing what's going on, but it was pretty fun.
Classic. Awesome. So what do you want to start with? Early game questions or end game questions?
We were going like strip basic bare, like what is Path of Exile? Like what are the classes? Then there's ascendancy. So we kind of learned a little bit about that today already. I was adamant not to play with the builds. Now I know that's not the style of Path of Exile.
Oh, so you don't want build guides?
Well, now I buckled and I caved and I started following one today, but I wasn't before.
Right.
Because I don't know. I don't play anything with builds unless I get stuck. I'm like anti-build guides until I get stuck. And I can't, and like I don't do damage, but
the problem with PoE is that unlike Diablo, the respec options early are really bad. So it's literally the opposite problem of Diablo. Like in Diablo, end game respecing I found like quite bad, and early game is just easy and free, and you get to experiment and try things. It's the opposite in PoE, where end game respecs are basically free and no problem, but early game respecs are entirely impossible. So a problem that happens to a lot of people is that they get anywhere between like Act 5 and Act 10, and they're like, oh, my build sucks, how do I fix it? And the answer ends up being, yeah, make a new character.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad. I wish there was a bit more freedom to like kind of figure it out for yourself a little bit, because that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
But anyways, today we decided I'm going to follow a guide. I personally play Barbarian main in like Diablo. Yeah. I like heavy hitting melee character, but the one thing I don't like about them is that they're so slow. And then chat was like, no, you can have a fast one. So then I was like, oh my gosh, dreams come true. So now we're doing a Slayer Bone Shatter.
Yes, that was sitting here hoping, like, please say Bone Shatter. You're gonna love it. As a like Barbarian player in D4, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I think, well, I'm so excited because apparently it's like a Barbarian but fast, which is like my dream.
Okay, to play Bone Zone Slayer, there's a phrase when anything crazy, good or bad, happens. This is very imperative to playing Path of Exile. Repeat after me. No way, dude.
No way, dude.
That's it. That's it. You've got it. You've nailed
it. Oh my god! So I can
perfect at Slayer Bone Zone.
I'm already a professional.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend Karn, he like lives for Slayer Bone Zone, and that's like his catchphrase.
Okay, that's good. No way, dude. I got it.
Yeah.
I have so many questions. Holy. But I had some good answers today. Some of them, like, I didn't even realize how simple they would be. Like, I was like, well, what's the blue gem versus the red versus the green? They're like, oh, no, that's... Okay, that was easy. Then I understand. The other thing I didn't know was, like, where gems should go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, should you put this skill in this piece, or if that kind of matters? And then chat was like, yes and no. Yeah.
So especially in my like new player guides, I've started lying to new players because there's no need to like teach about exceptions and stuff. And there's generally exceptions to every single thing in Path of Exile. So they're correct, right? Like, no, it doesn't matter, but there are exceptions where there will be things that will have like socketed gems. So pretty much everything will have an exception in Path of Exile.
Okay, the other thing I think that actually this is what I think is the most complicated thing for me to understand in my entire 2 week career of playing Path of Exile
Mhm.
is gear. I do not have a single clue on what is good and what is not good. And I know that there's loot filters and I have loot filters, but it still makes no sense to me.
So that honestly just takes a very, very long time. And I'm glad you started a SSF character because I think you'll learn a lot about it there. So what I did when I was a new player is first I played bow characters. And then after I'd done like 2 or 3 bow characters, I started like, okay, now I've got a fair idea. Like I understand what's a good quiver, what's a good bow. Um, and then I was like, let's play a spell character. And then I played melee, and then I really loved melee, and I started being that as a main, and I would just keep playing that until I really understood. And now, between having played like one of each archetype, I would have a rough idea of what was good on each gear. But Path of Exile is sort of notoriously bad at teaching you these things. The
Very
number
bad.
one things, so most gear like gloves, helmet, and boots, and body armor to some degree, and even shields, they all share like some of the most important sets that you want to look for on all of them, right? So resist is kind of obvious. So you can hit C and open your defense panel. Um, so there you can see that you have 2 stats, right? You have the 75 resistances, and then you have the number in
Mm-hmm.
167.
Okay.
So the 167, that's like your overcapped resistance. So what that means is if you get cursed or something like that, let's say somebody casts flammability on you and you lose 42 fire resist, you're still going to have like 120 something fire left. So being
So
overcapped on
people
those is
can people
actually
can
good.
take away your stats.
Yeah.
Like someone can oh,
Yeah, so you can get cursed
okay.
with elemental weakness, which is all your resistances galore, or like flammability, which will be just your fire resist. And
Oh,
then
so you have like an extra buffing,
yeah.
basically.
And then there are other things you can do too, like you can get reduced curse effect on things. Then you can maybe have exactly 75% fire resist.
Okay.
Which again is not slightly true. There's so many things, like so many debuffs in PoE. So there's monsters that can give you exposure as well, which is actually more of a recent addition. So worst case scenario, and you don't need to worry about this as much on softcore, but on hardcore, let's say that you do have 75% resists and you get fire exposure at the same time as a curse, then you could suddenly be a
Mm-hmm.
30% fire resist. You take any fire damage, you're going to fall over.
Mm-hmm. I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that resists are a really big part of the game, right?
Yeah.
Where are you supposed to be like should you be more focused on your resist in your skill tree or on specific armor pieces?
So specific armor pieces, and this is something, this will be great for your new character that you're starting, and you can use the crafting bench on white pieces of gear. So you can just go find like a random white piece of gear somewhere, just either from
How
a
am I gonna
vendor or from your
Oh, a
stash.
vendor. I haven't done any crafting yet.
Yeah.
And that's why I started SSF.
Just click on these guys aren't going to sell you any. Just click on the waypoint and go to Act 10.
I feel so special. I'm getting like a personalized coaching.
Yeah, I've
I'm
done
gonna be
this a few
freaking
times. So I
cracked.
figured now that we have D4 players coming over, we can try to hook more of
Yeah.
them.
All right. Is this not the town? No, this is the
No,
town. No, this is
it's
not
the
the town.
go back to the waypoint and then it's the top left one.
Oh, there.
And PoE is a really hard game. Like I had people teaching me when I was new. It was a player was now a streamer called Goratha. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps a lot getting a little bit extra hand. So the vendors are in the top left part of town, and just talk to the Whalem. And you can actually control click
Whalem.
him to instantly open the purchase screen, I think. Maybe that opens the sell screen. I don't know. There. Right. So find any white piece of gear. Just needs to not be blue. Yeah, there. Buy
This
that.
one?
Yeah. And then just go to your hideout. Especially early, the number one thing that we look for is socket pressure. Because if you're following a build guide, it might tell you even early that you want a 3-link or a 4-link, etc. And
Okay.
it's going to be really hard to find that on a good piece of gear. So if you go to your crafting bench, the number one thing that is important to learn early, and you can just put the item in, is that even if an item has no stats on it, you can craft. So you can search for resist, and early on, I'm like, say you find a 4-link glove, right, with the colors you need, then you can just craft
Mm-hmm.
the resistances. Now, obviously, you can see on the right that there's a level requirement there, but if you click on
Mm-hmm.
fire resist, You can see that the lowest one has level 12 requirement. So once you're level 12 and you're about
Mm.
to face Merveil, you can actually get 75 cold resist very easily, right?
Is that the lady I just killed? Is she the one who's
Yeah,
the hot mermaid lady?
that's it.
Oh
That's
my
it.
god, that just took you just missed that. Literally just took me freaking 30 minutes of my life to kill her. It was so tedious.
Yeah, and it can be pretty hard because you have usually no resist at that point. But if
Okay.
you're just like all you care about is sockets and you don't really care about wearing blue gear or rare gear early, because a mistake that new players often do is they'll wear something that's rare, but it might have no good
Mm-hmm.
stats. It could just have like 3 strength, 3.7 life regen, 4 all attributes. You're basically wearing nothing. Or instead you could just wear a white piece of gear and craft on
Mm-hmm.
it. So do
And
you
how do you know if it's
know?
worth it?
Yeah, I was about to say, do you know anything about prefixes, suffixes, and how things like that work yet?
No, I was asking about that today. So they said like if you just hold Alt on a piece of
Yeah,
gear, it should
that
be allowed 3 and 3, right?
awesome. Yeah, so that's a great piece of gear to explain with, and just keep holding Alt, I guess. And a blue item can have 1 prefix and 1 suffix, and then a rare
Okay.
item can have 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes, with very few
Okay.
exceptions. And you can always have 1 craft. So like that's what that maximum life, like the teal one there, that's your crafted one. And resists are always suffixes. Then you generally have things like life and damage related stats as prefixes for the most part. There will be some utility things like attack speed, cast speed that can be like suffixes, like on rings and amulets. Gem levels, anything to do with gems, are usually a prefix. And yeah, most of the time prefixes are like damage related on like gloves, helm, weapon, rings, and amulet,
So
and
you
life.
wouldn't want to so you wouldn't want to edit a white piece of gear. You would always just want to try find a yellow one quickly so you can add 3.
So if you find a yellow item early that has an open suffix and a good stat, then that's great. Then you want to use that. But usually early on, because you can resist cap as early as Act 2 by wearing a complete set of white gear with resist rings. So you find maybe like a sapphire ring, a topaz ring, and even if they're
Mm-hmm.
white, all you do is you craft resist on all of your gear early. You're resist capped as early as Act 2.
So resistance is like #1 most important first step.
Yeah, on hardcore, I always resist cap in Act 2 or early Act 3. So all I look
Okay.
for is a 3 link or a 4 link. That's all I look
Okay.
for.
Okay. Okay. So I would take this. Let me just try Mako. So I would take this and then I would say, what do I just drag this on? I just click craft.
Yeah. And normally that would be with like gloves or something. Because for a weapon, there are other things. Like this will be great for go take that bow with you and go to Act 1 town. We're gonna teach you something that I don't think anyone's taught you yet, which will be really useful for your new character, especially. Talk to Nessa.
Oh, Nessa. People get asking me where I get all my cool gear from. I just tell them I found it on the floor.
Purchase items.
I
And
was gonna
then
sell it.
no. Buy the rustic sash. It's the yeah,
Rustic. This?
perfect. Buy that.
Jesus,
And
how did you
then
know that was there? This you
it's just
you
generally
played
there.
you
Then
played
go
have you played PoE before?
a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Now open your stash and grab a blacksmith whetstone and use an alchemy on that rustic sash.
Okay. Cash money, whetstone. So I must put this in there.
Yeah, just have it in. No. Keep everything in your inventory. And
What's
then
the point of this center thing?
wait, which one?
Like the center thing in the middle of the currency tab, what's that
Oh,
for?
so that's for like keeping items there to craft. So that if you want to like, yeah, it's
Oh,
just like a spot. So just
what does this even do? Improves the quality.
yeah, but
Okay, so it's
just bring one in your inventory so you can just like shift click it. Or actually, I want to teach you something early. You might as well learn it. Grab a full stack on your cursor, and then you can shift click one into your inventory. This is
ooh, look at that.
yeah.
I'm
Uh,
freaking fancy.
fancy as fuck. And then use the alchemy on the rustic stash.
Okay, first I gotta find that.
Yeah, you have one in
Uh,
your stash already.
oh, I don't know what they look like. I don't know what anything looks like. I'll.
It's really funny
Okay.
because so many people in my chat didn't know about that.
Alchemy shard or orb of alchemy?
Orb of alchemy, and then use that on the rustic. And then go ahead and make that the blacksmith whetstone.
I feel like the other thing is Foster.
Yeah.
The thing you just taught me. Just picking it up and then putting it in. Anyways, sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, use the alchemy on the rustic, and then make sure that there's just one whetstone. Like, just unstack them.
Oh.
Awesome. And now go talk to the sell vendor again, Nessa. And actually sell items this time. And now you sell the bow and the belt and one of the whetstones. So Path of Exile actually has a robust vendor system. So this is a vendor recipe. So if that belt was blue, it would be slightly less physical damage. But now that it's rare, it'll be higher. And this works on weapons as well. So it's going to be really good for your weapons early. Because in Path of Exile, we have loads of different base types. Similar to Diablo, right? And did you play much Diablo 2?
No, just 3 and 4.
Okay. So there's basically like a normal and a medium and a endgame version of each base. So even the sniper bow, we would have like 2 other bases that just have like higher base physical damage and higher stat requirements. So let's see, I can link you. I can't remember.
I'm still still confused about this part. So I got, what is a vendor recipe?
Sure. So by selling a rustic sash and a whetstone and any weapon, you're basically getting what she's showing you in the offer. You're getting a high physical damage weapon. So early on, it might be really, really annoying to get a physical damage weapon. So we use the rustic sash vendor recipe to get that. So
and why did you make the rustic sash fancier?
So if that's white, it does nothing. If it's blue, it'll be like 40% physical damage. And if it's rare, then it'll be up to 65, I think.
So any weapon could be any weapon at all, plus one whetstone, and then I'm going to call them fancy. And a fancy sash gives you a higher damage weapon.
Yeah, and I'm gonna link you something. I haven't played Bone Shatter in a while, so I can't remember if you use axes or maces. But if you open that wiki and let me know when you've scrolled down to two-handed axes. Yeah, it is axes. Excellent. Let me know when you see like wood splitter, pole axe.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, awesome. So here you can see the base types, and you can see the leftmost number, that's the level. So you can see on a pole axe, it's level 18 to use. Double axe is 23, stuff like that. And we're generally going to be looking for the high attack speed axes. So when you're around level 18, you really do want to use a pole axe, and it'll be okay to use a double axe. But if you scroll down a little bit, you can see at 37, you have a Jasper Chopper, and that's 1.15 attack speed. That's the 5th column is the attack speed. And it does tell you at the top of these what they are. So this is like having a Wikipedia article open like this is how you can try to keep track of what are the good base types to use. And you'll see that the further down you go, the higher the flat physical is, which is the 4th column. And by doing this, then even just by using that like vendor recipe, you can have a really up-to-date weapon, because you can recreate this at any time, right? Getting a rare sash and a blacksmith whetstone, that's not hard. Whereas,
so you want to, every time you hit one of those levels, so say I just hit level 37, I want to find a Jasper Chopper specifically and then do that vendor recipe on that Jasper Chopper.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
I would avoid the ones with like low attack speed. So I would probably go from Gilded Axe. Like Shadow Axe is okay, and then I would maybe skip Dagger and skip Jasper. And that's just because like the attack speed just feels good, right? Your character will be more responsive and stuff. So it just always feels better if I'm able to hit attack speed.
So 1.3 is faster than 1.15?
Yeah, so that's the base attack speed. So Jasper Chopper would be really good when using, for example, a skill like Earthquake. It has like an aftershock, and it's all about like you're maybe only hitting once every 3 seconds or something.
Okay.
But with Bone Shatter, you're going to want to just like keep hitting very often.
Okay, so you want to find the fastest ones of each level and then do that recipe and then get the better version of that weapon.
Yeah. And then
you won't automatically find the best version of the weapon. You can always make it better.
Yeah, and you can generally, the vendor will keep refreshing as you level. They've changed it and honestly made it worse for new players. Before, it
Oh,
used to
great.
do a full reset every time you leveled. But now it only like takes 2 or 3 items out and puts 2 or 3 items in. So you might have to level a few times to actually see one in the store. But it does change a little bit each time you level.
Okay. I haven't bought anything yet. At
Yeah.
all.
And then actually log on your low level character. Let's see. So you're using splitting steel to level, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk to the vendor and free up a little bit of inventory space so they have a bit more.
Should I just sell it to her?
So you want to identify boots because you want to look for movement speed if you don't have that already. Nice, very good boots. Wow, they're insane. So if you hold
What?
Alt on
Why are they
those,
insane?
they also have an open suffix, which makes that they're triple res boots with life and movement speed. So if you hold Alt on them, you can see that they only have 2 suffixes. And that means that for 1 transmute, you can craft fire resist on these. So you'll probably keep those until you're 50, 60.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Poggers. Oh, wait, so I mustn't sell those. I almost just okay, hold on.
Yeah, just put those on.
Let's
And
put
then
put those on.
and then
And should
now
I
you don't need to
everything?
identify the rest of the boots. I would
Oh,
probably
really?
sell everything while it's unidentified because like I taught you about that you can use the fire resist, cold resist craft, etc. You need transmutes for
Uh-huh.
that. So you actually need to pick up a lot of blue and rare gear and sell it unidentified.
So what's the difference between selling it identified versus unidentified?
So once they're identified, which you'll see with this padded vest now, that'll
Okay,
give you
here's one
alteration shards. And the
and there's the
silken vest
other.
will give you transmutation shards. So just go ahead and sell everything in your inventory.
Okay. Wait, no, not these.
Yeah.
Should I swap this one with this one?
Keep the greater and sell the large.
Okay.
And then sell everything else.
And then like that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, and the belts?
I would sell the heavy belt and actually sell the leather belt and keep the heavy belt. It's rare, so it might be good.
Okay.
All right. Now talk to Tarkley on the right.
Is that how you say his name?
I think so.
Tarkley. All right.
And then purchase items, and we're gonna see if he has any good bases. So right now we are gonna look for a wood splitter, which we can see that Tarkley has, and then first you look over both of them. Yeah, buy the one for an orb of augmentation actually. So you don't have a great use for augmentation right now. And then we're gonna go look at the vendor and see if there's a rustic sash there.
Do they all sell different stuff?
Yeah. Nessa sells rings, etc., and belts.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tarkley sells like anything armor related.
Okay.
Buy any for 2 wisdom.
Any of them.
Any of rustic sash.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're gonna do the thing.
We're gonna do the thing. Do you have an essence or anything like that? Or what do you have in your stash?
I don't think I have anything yet. Let's see. This is what I got.
You have alchemy. We're actually gonna use the alchemy on the belt.
Okay. I totally know what that looks like for sure.
It's the only currency on the right side. Well, actually.
This one.
Yeah, perfect. Use that on the belt.
Oh. Okay.
Let's see.
And then I got 1, 1, and 1.
Perfect. And then we're gonna do the recipe again. So the whetstone, the axe, and the belt.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
No one tells you this. How did you know this?
You don't. PoE is a lot of crowd knowledge, and there is supposedly a vendor recipe that we haven't found yet, and the developers have forgotten. They don't know what we don't know anymore.
What?
So there's an unknown vendor recipe that they don't even remember if they know it anymore.
Oh my god. That's so funny. Oh my god.
All right, so go ahead and sell that. And now you have an axe with really, really high damage. But I think you have your splitting shield or splitting steel in your shield right now. Is that correct? Awesome.
Yeah.
So now we need to find somewhere else to put that. So go to Tarkley again, and we're going to see if he has anything that has... what gem sockets are you using? Because you're actually just on a 2-link right now, so you're using something that doesn't work together.
Oh, the sniper's mine.
Right. Okay, cool. Even better. So click purchase items.
Okay.
And then check on the second menu. Okay, third menu.
What are you looking for?
Right now we're just looking for any sockets that you can use. So those boots would be perfect, but you already have so good boots that you don't really want to use that. Because you either want like red, red, green or green, green, red. And
How do
there's
you know what you want?
so generally this
Like,
is where a build guide comes in as a new player. Because you really want to like be told what support champs to use, etc.
okay.
I think what we're gonna do is so wait, what was the second? Oh, okay. We're gonna put it in your chest. I think take the red gem in your chest and put it in your boots. Perfect. And then
Mm-hmm.
take the splitting steel and the chance to bleed and put that in your chest. And then what are the other green gems you have in your helmet and your gloves?
Double strike, which I
Okay.
have not used.
Yeah, don't use that. Just get rid of that. And then we're going to put the
Okay.
sniper's mark in your helmet. Right. Now what I want you to do is click on the 2 button below the inventory text. And that'll switch to your weapon swap. Perfect. Put your axe in there and then go back to the first set. Now hover over your splitting steel.
Okay.
So at the bottom on your tooltip, sorry, so that you can see how much damage you're doing. Right next to your mana bar. It's
Oh,
like whatever's on
oh,
your right click. Right, so there you can see 43 DPS. And then let's do like a quick test run and we'll go to Southern Forest. The
oh. Okay.
area right after Mervale. And just like show me killing some monsters.
Okay. Here.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. I've learned so much already.
Yeah,
I have still so many questions.
that's good. All right, just start killing monsters.
All right.
Awesome. So that's already pretty good, right? Like the skill's pretty strong, etc. Now click X. Oh wait, is X not bound to weapon swap? Okay, maybe just go to your inventory and weapon swap manually. Okay, and now start killing things. Also, you can hover over your damage now to see it went from 43. And if you hover over splitting steel, it's now double
Ooh,
the damage.
double.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also, there was a greater life flask back there that you want to pick up.
There's a what?
Greater life flask a little bit south.
Oh.
Nice. So now you'll do a lot more damage because you went from a not super useful weapon and now you have a two-handed weapon with physical damage on it. And probably around somewhere between like level 30 and 50, you will actually need to have more of an actual weapon where like the rustic sash recipe will take you quite far. But at this
Uh-huh.
point, you probably want to have flat physical and percentage physical because they kind of work off each other. So that if you only have flat physical or you only have percentage physical, it'll be a fraction of the power you'll get from having both.
So wait, flat physical would be like, what's the difference between flat physical and percentage physical?
So percentage physical buffs the or increases the flat amount. So they work in tandem with each other. So if you look at your weapon right now, hover over it. You can see at the top it has physical damage 31 to 64, and that's in blue.
Mm-hmm.
That means that it's being modified by the affix increased physical damage. So the base damage on a splitting axe is 19 to 39. And then on top of that, if we like, you don't have a regal this early, but if you did and you regaled flat physical, then this axe would maybe be something like 50 to 90 or 50 to 80 physical damage
Oh,
because the increased physical damage will buff not just the base physical, but the additional physical that you're getting from the actual stat. So having both of those once you're like 50 plus will be pretty important.
okay. But you said you can't do the stash thing. You have to just like find a weapon after that point.
Well, the rustic stash recipe is always like a nice, like at least you have that. But yeah, like you
Okay.
will notice at some point you will probably want something a bit better.
Are there like do specific areas or bosses give you better chance to drop certain gear?
Not really. No,
Oh, okay.
not really. Um, the biggest thing that you're gonna want is anytime you find an essence, then you really, really want to kill those, especially if you can find what's called an essence of contempt. Because what an essence does, it's the same as an alchemy, and an alchemy turns a white item, specifically rare, and it will give it at least 4 stats and up to 6. So 4, 5, or 6 stats always.
It'll those essences are the things that go in like their own
Yeah.
own tab, right?
Yep.
I haven't used one of those before.
Yeah. So essences will guarantee a stat.
Okay.
So the contempt essence will actually guarantee that you get flat physical, and then everything else will be randomized. So you'll get 3, 4, 5 random stats, but the physical will be guaranteed.
Oh, I was wondering why this is fucking up so much. Oh, sorry for swearing.
No, you're good. I swear a lot too.
That's because
Don't
I
worry
don't.
about it.
My what's it called is this.
Oh, right. Yes. I was about to tell you to switch that.
Yeah, that was annoying me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, like,
Okay.
I would early get in the habit of picking up a lot of blues and stuff, at least until you have like 10 to 15 transmutes. Just like pick up and sell quite a lot, because having those transmutes so you can craft resists are pretty important. And open your
Transmutes
skill
are
tree.
transmutation these?
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
And you get these if you sell blue gear.
unidentified blue or rare gear. Yep.
Okay.
And actually,
transmutation shards.
chat just reminded me something. Click your splitting steel on your toolbar or hotbar, and then click always attack without moving. That's the same as in Diablo if you're shift clicking, so that you're standing in place, so you're not moving towards the enemy.
Oh, that's so much better.
It feels a lot better.
Okay, good. That was annoying me as well.
Yeah. And then you can just move up north to town.
Okay. I like this area.
Yeah, it's great. It's actually a really, really good XP farm area. So sometimes on hardcore, we'll like stay in one zone and farm XP and over level.
And 100's max?
Yeah. 98 is roughly halfway to 100.
Okay. Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's all the gem leveling things, right?
Mhm.
And then a lot of the times people were like, no, don't level it up yet. And then they were saying you don't level it up because it increases the stats that you need and you might not have the stats.
Yeah.
Right? So then I was like, here it doesn't show you. So do you have to like go to the gem and then go like this and then check what the next level is before you? How do you know what the
I don't
next?
think it shows unless you like actually go to the Wikipedia and look at the gem, what the stat requirement of the next level is. But like, you can
No,
see
it tells
that
you here.
So you can. Oh, right, yeah. So on the ones that are grayed out, that's the ones you don't have enough to use, because that is either telling you that you either don't have enough level or you don't have enough stats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Requires level 16. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then, for example, so like this pops up and this says Sniper's Mark.
Yeah, so you have enough to go to the next level.
Oh.
But
okay.
a problem that can happen is that you may later, like let's say that you had a ring with 40 dex or 40 int or something, and you later replace that, you might...
Oh, then you can't use it anymore.
Exactly, yeah. Now, once you have the library in Act 3, you can buy level 1 gems at any level. Also, I just
Why would you want to do that?
So if Flame Dash, for example, has been leveled too much, it might cost too much intelligence, and it's fine using level 1 Flame Dash.
This is so much easier to start playing the game already. I'm absorbing so much information. I'm like a supercomputer. I've been playing for years and I'm still learning. I know, that's what I said I like about the PoE community. I said it's like the opposite of all the other games. It's like whenever there's other games on Twitch, like the main games, like I don't know, League of Legends or Call of Duty or whatever, people are like, I got like 10,000 hours. I know everything. And then you go to PoE, and then everyone's like, I got 10,000 hours. I know nothing. I was actually expecting the PoE community to not be very nice, because it's such like people put a lot of time into stuff, and when people put a lot of time into stuff, they usually don't like new people coming and doing that stuff. But PoE community is the opposite.
I think every community has like bad eggs and good eggs as well, so there'll always be some overlap. But yeah, open your skill tree.
Okay. Here we go. I
Awesome.
made some mistakes, but we're en route.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. Awesome.
Thanks.
So you're following a build guide for this, right? So you already know where to go with points and stuff. And then obviously, even if a build guide says to like strictly do something, grabbing anything like the like 30 dex, 30 int nodes, or like you're pathing through an int node now, like things like that can like help you early be able to fit. So always feel free to like take like stat nodes when you need it. Oh,
Okay.
actually, you have a stat node on the right, like a dex that I don't think
This
you're
one?
supposed to have. Yeah, you're.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, you could probably
Yeah, I only
refund
took that
that.
because I couldn't use my
Oh,
my thing, so I did that.
I
I
get
took
it.
your advice already.
Right. So we can fix that actually, because you probably want to go. Hmm.
They told me to go this way.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go this way
Yeah.
and go down here, but I only started looking at the guide after it
Well,
started.
going through the intelligence node isn't bad early because you're not going to have a lot of intelligence. So going through that, and that's the blue node in the middle of your screen, and there is a. Yeah, perfect. Going through that early is fine. I usually do that just to get in. And then you have Art of the Gladiator. That's going to give you a lot of dex. So you can actually pick that up through the int node right now and then get rid of your dexterity because Art of the Gladiator gives you 20 dexterity.
Oh my gosh, check that out. Okay. Do I have a refund point? Oh, I do. So
Yeah.
then
So then you can get rid of your dex above.
how do you oh here refund.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now you
I don't know
can
where I'm
get...
supposed to go from here.
So it's probably not in the guide, but since you're using Splitting Steel for leveling, Splitting Steel is a projectile. So below Art of the Gladiator, you have like a little arrow notable, and that one's worth taking.
The projectile damage one?
Yeah, but take the notable one. You do need the travel node. But yeah, Fury Bolts. That's fine for
Take the
leveling.
notable one. What does that mean?
Notable is the slightly larger ones. Yeah, that's a great question. So all the small ones, like those dexterity nodes or the ones that says like 3% attack speed, they're generally referred to as travel nodes. They don't really do that much. They have like minor effects. And then you have the one like Art of the Gladiator, that's a notable. These can also be anointed, which is, I don't know if you have an anoint on your endgame character, but
I don't even know what that means.
so anointing is engaging with a league mechanic called blight. And in blight you get oils, so you get loads of different colors. There's the super expensive ones called gold oils, then you have silver oils, then you have loads of cheap ones like amber, teal, etc. So if you hold alt right now, it's going to show you 3 oils. And that means that if you wanted to anoint Art of the Gladiator, that would be a brown oil, a opalescent oil, and a gold oil. And you could go, like, for example, all the way north on the skill tree and hold alt on another notable. So just like go all the way north, like far away. And then pick a notable. No, that's a keystone. So they're like build enabling or like build altering.
These ones? Oh, these ones.
Yeah, exactly. So you could anoint that. So once you get 2 teals and 1 red, you could anoint that, and with like you basically get a skill point, but from anywhere. So you get 1 skill point from anywhere on the skill tree. So this is really good for a lot of builds. Like there might be something like +1 curse or +1 totem, etc. that you might want, but it might not be anywhere near you. So instead of
But you
having...
can have it anywhere on the tree.
Yeah. So that can be very build enabling for a lot of builds.
So for example, if I wanted this
And that always
random node
goes
over
on your
here,
amulet.
if I wanted this random node over here, I would need to get those 2
Yeah.
post oils, and
Yeah.
then I can have it.
Yeah.
How do you use them?
So you could do it in the Blight tab, or you can talk to Cassia. And then you just put in an amulet and then the 3 oils, and then it'll give you a preview of which one you're getting. So you didn't mess it up. Take the sniper skill below Art of the Gladiator. Yeah, Fury Bolts.
Sniper skill.
Fury
Is
Bolts.
this the sniper skill?
Yeah, I thought it was called sniper something, but it's called Fury Bolts.
No, I can't. I would have to go. Would I have to go all the way around this way?
No, you can see that there's like a little connection from the right. So you just take the small travel node and then, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. And that'll give you a little bit more damage.
Okay.
Awesome.
I also made a new build because I was getting like 2. I didn't know what the skills are or what they look like. which I would also say, I feel like if you're picking a build, you should see what it looks like when you're using that skill. Because I was getting like 2 FPS with like a million projectiles bouncing off my screen. I couldn't see anything. So I was like, okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna scale it down and do a lot less
classic.
graphics.
100%. All
Okay,
right. What other questions do you have?
I have so many questions. Okay, now it's okay. So now you get through the game. I'm gonna go back onto the other character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you get to maps. Now, maps are like nightmare dungeons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then once I was doing my maps, and then everyone was saying no, you need to like do your Atlas tree, which I
Yeah.
understand because I have 38 Atlas tree points because I don't know what to do with them.
Right.
But hold on, let me go to my little place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where are we? Maps. Okay, so
Where am I? Nice.
yeah, that's my maps tab. All right, so okay, so you finished Act 1 through 10. You get here, you start doing maps, and then so now they have these Atlas bonus complete,
Yeah.
and you try and get. Is there a reason why you should try and get them all done? Is
Yeah,
there
it's just you want more points.
okay? More points. Okay, for this Atlas
Yeah.
skill tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then my next question is some of them say, chat was trying to explain this to me earlier, I didn't understand. This says Atlas map complete. This says Atlas bonus complete. What's the difference between that?
So to make a map droppable, and you can open your atlas by clicking G. Um, like so,
Is
if
this
you
another one?
no,
Oh my god, there's another one.
this is just showing the ones you've completed. So if you look at the filled in one
Oh,
on the top left, zoom in on that a little bit. There's one that doesn't have a ring around them like the others. I think
this?
it's yeah, City Square. So you can see there that the bonus hasn't been done. So that's how you can like tell which ones you haven't done. And then you can see I call them ant lines. I feel like they look like ants.
They do.
Going to the left, that goes to a grayed out one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that has not been completed. And as long as a map is filled in like that, like City Square, that means that it's droppable. So if you are, let's see, if you go almost top right of the maps that you can see on your screen right now, it's like a channel map. It's filled in. You can hover over it. So if you're doing a channel, City Square can drop. That's because it's filled in, right? So you have completed the maps. You know that it exists. You don't have the bonus from it yet, but City Square can drop. But you did hover over a park map, and that's not filled in. So that means that if you're in a channel, park cannot drop. So only adjacent maps can drop. So you do have to be like next to it.
So this map won't drop because I don't have this map.
So if you are in, if you're trying to get a summit, you can get that by being in a channel map, but you can't get that from City Square.
Oh, so you want to try and unlock all the maps, and you do that by repeating maps until the next map drops.
Yeah. And there's a
Okay.
lot of different tips and tricks for how to unlock them. So if you close this and talk to Kirak,
Is he over here?
yeah. And the main difference is just either you get a point or you don't. Like you first make it droppable by clearing it at any level, and then for white maps you need to kill it. Probably want to click edit and move them apart a little bit.
Oh, you can put them around?
Yeah. Yeah, you can decorate your hideout. There's like crazy hideout competitions.
I started decorating my hideout.
Yeah, I do that a lot
I didn't
too.
know I could
It's
move
very fun.
these guys.
Yep. But yeah, so white maps, you just have to kill them while blue. Yellow maps, just while rare. And on a red map, they need to be rare and corrupted. So if you click purchase items here, then you can see, and you can hold alt on these maps too. You can see which ones you've completed and which ones you haven't.
Oh.
So he's actually a great source. So now you can see you can buy Summit, you can buy Iceberg. And this resets every single time that you do a mission. So you could go ahead and buy the Iceberg right now in the channel.
Okay.
And control click lets you buy it without dragging.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, just buy the channel as well. It's the yellow map on the right. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then go back to your hideout.
Okay. You're learning too? Okay, good. I feel like a lot of people are learning.
That's good. Now he
Okay.
should be in that stack of other units.
Of other people. Should I spread the... Oh, hold on.
Perfect. Now,
Okay.
if you click on Commander Carrick, he has a Atlas mission menu.
Atlas mission menu.
It's the blue one.
Explore the Atlas? Oh, Atlas mission.
There. And now you can do the same thing here. You can hold Alt and you can look at the missions. And you can see which ones you have done or which ones you haven't. So now you can do lookout and you would actually get both the bonus objective and the Atlas map here.
Okay, so let me go over this all. So you get maps, and the intention of the maps is to get Atlas passive skill points.
Yep.
And you get them by completing all of the maps.
Yeah, so you get one point per map you've completed. So as long as you kill the boss, while it's, if it's a yellow map, it needs to be rare. If it's a white map, it needs to be blue. And if it's a red map, it needs to be rare and corrupted.
Okay, and then if you don't get the map drop, then you can go buy the map drop from him.
Yeah, and that resets every time. So if you could just you could open a map now.
Okay.
From
On
him.
Here?
No, from him. He does that there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing before you open them, if you look at the bottom, it'll say like find the rare map. And what I usually do is I hover over all of them and I look for one that says find the full stack of divination cards. And check
the
your
cards.
Yeah, find the
I don't know what the cards are.
Look at the white maps as well. He has like 3 menus.
Oh yes.
Oh, perfect. You probably don't have the Wakario Tuaha map. It's the unique map on the right. Oh, Overgrown Shrine. Okay, nice. Anyway, do the Wakario map, the unique one. Have you done
This
that?
one? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hold Alt on it. Oh, excellent. No. This is gonna be fun. Do that.
Okay.
And then when you open it, you can wait like 5 seconds and yeah, just open it now and then wait 5 seconds.
Open it, wait 5 seconds. What are the cards? I have to ask you about the cards. I forgot about those.
We can take that after this. Okay. Talk to Kiarik again and purchase items.
Yeah.
And then now you'll see that that's a reset, and now he's selling different maps. So that resets every time you open a mission. You don't have to complete the map. You just have to open a new mission. So getting missions early is huge. And that's how we like complete our Atlas pretty fast early. But yeah, now go do the map. It is actually quite a hard boss for a lot of builds, but you should be fine on this build.
No, this is not a real build. This is Rachel K's made it up build. So
you have a mage blade. You'll be fine. I trust.
No, you give me too much. I could have whatever. I could have 5 mage belts wrapped around my forehead, and trust me, I can find a way. I can find a way.
So in this map, you just have to go northwest, and there'll be like a portal there leading you to the next area.
Okay. Actually, the game I traded for the mage blood, and it was too fast. I had to. This is the slowed down one, and it's still too fast for me. I'm not.
That actually happens a lot. Discord's being a little laggy, but it should be fine.
No, this is not. This is me without using the scourge arrow. The scourge arrow is impossible.
There, go through the red portal. And then all the way northwest in this area, and there'll be like a little boat. You'll see like a little dungeon entrance or something. There you go.
Oh, there.
Oh yeah, and pick up the crafting recipe as well. And then in the middle of this room, there's like a boss spawner. You actually like bypass its proximity shield, so it shouldn't be hard on this. But you might as well put down a portal here just in case you die.
Always underestimate me is my advice.
All right.
No
You're doing great so far. You've had great questions. I think I've seen a few veterans in my chat have learned things, so that's good. So just go ahead and kill that.
Kill, where is it?
It's the black unit.
Oh, this.
Yep.
I'm not going to use my other thing. You want to see what happens if I use my Scourge? I'll show you.
Yeah.
It just goes crazy.
Wow.
It's just too much, too much stuff on my screen.
There. And now another boss spawned. And this, a lot of people hate this boss because it has a proximity shield that you usually can't damage, but your build actually goes through that. So it's not a big deal for your build.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. And it'll teleport away from you. It'll run. It's very annoying. People hate this.
Great.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it is annoying.
Yeah.
These are what I like to call little shits.
Yep.
When they run away from you.
Yeah,
I hate it when something you're killing is trying to run away from you.
So most of the unique maps are designed by players for supporter packs. That's why they're so annoying and awful.
Little shits.
Yep.
They're the little shit masters.
Yep. They're very annoying. We all hate them.
Someone, you can design your own one of these?
Not anymore. So that was like old Path of Exile supporter
man.
packs. Like you used to be able to create a unique item back in the day. It was
That
like
would've been
$1,000.
Best use of $1,000 ever.
It's almost dead. It's a lot of purple.
And 2 frames.
Yeah.
I'm also building a new PC. Path of Exile made me need to buy a new PC.
I believe it. I believe it. That's the nice thing about D4. It's very optimized.
I don't know. D4 had a lot of RAM leak.
Oh, yeah.
For me.
That's fair.
I had issues.
I had a pretty good time with it.
But I have my PC's due for an upgrade anyway. All right.
All right. So now you can just leave the map. But like the fact that he like resets that every time makes it like pretty good to finish your atlas. And then he'll generally sell you the early maps for chance orbs, and then he'll start charging alchemy orbs as you go on. And then
what's a chance orb?
Yeah. So I was go to the epilogue again. So Chance Orb is an item that can turn a white item into either a blue, a rare, or a unique. So it's just an RNG orb. And early on...
Like gambling?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
but
fun.
It is like 10 to 30,000, or you might even need 100,000 to hit a unique. So it's like kind of... It hurts. It just hurts your hand.
The odds are not in your favor.
Yeah. If you talk to Lonnie on the left right now and click purchase items... She actually has a lot of currency for sale. So early on, you can see that in the middle 4th row, you can see that she has an Orb of Chance for a fusing. So you could actually buy an Orb of Chance at the cost of a fusing. And early on, you're probably not going to go for a 5 or 6 thing super early, but you really do want to get your Atlas. So early on, I'll convert a lot of my fusings into Chance Orbs. Just so that I can like buy maps from Keurig. You don't do that for super long, but it can like... It really helps early on. So just knowing the fact that Lonnie sells a bunch of currencies can help. Like, you can buy a Regret, you can buy Alchemies.
So okay, wait, what did you use to buy the thing from that guy, the map? What currency?
So that's Chance Orbs or Alchemies.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what does fusing do? So they're all just interchangeable currencies. So like each currency is like a different country's currency and it can exchange them for each other.
Yeah, basically. So these are all the base rates. And then obviously you can trade with other players too.
What's the strongest currency?
Mirror of Calandra. So Mirror of Calandra, it is a very, very rare currency. And it copies another item. So sometimes a endgame player will spend hundreds and hundreds of divine orbs, which would be thousands of chaos orbs, to create like one perfect item that maybe as even a dedicated player you will never be able to make an item like this, right? They're like actually perfect. And using like special crafting methods as well that you wouldn't normally do. And if somebody manages to make a perfect item like this, they'll let other people mirror it. So you will bring a mirror of Calandra and they'll give you a copy of the item and they'll charge you as well to make a copy.
Oh, so they have like the mold.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And you can't copy the copy. You can only copy the original.
That's kind of cool.
It is very, very cool. So if you open the stash right now, we can just go over all the currencies and talk about them.
Yes, please. Great.
So we'll start at the top left. We'll do the second row because the top row is just the quality currencies. So transmute, it turns an item blue. It can either have one stat or two, and it's always one prefix, one suffix. Alterations just keeps changing that. It can just give a suffix or a prefix, or it can give both. The next orb that you haven't unlocked there is an orb of annulment. I like to call them anal orbs. I think that's hilarious. And that will just remove one stat from the item at random. So if you don't have a suffix or if you don't have a prefix, then and you really need one, or let's say that a prefix of a chest would be thorns, right? And like that's a garbage stat in PoE. It's not like Diablo where you can actually do a reflect barb. So if you hit that with a orb of annulment, then bam, you can craft maybe percentage life instead.
So you can take off a stat so you can add your own new stat.
Yeah. And it's very high risk reward because you can completely break your item too. Then
because it can do any random
stat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yep. And then we have the chance orb, which is random rarity, so it can be either blue, yellow, or unique. And then next up there is the exalted orb. And generally the shards are below them, so quite a lot of the orbs have shards. So exalted orb is adding a stat to a rare item. So if an item has like 4, 5, or 6 stats, you can add one. Obviously, if you have 6, you can't because it's full. But if you have 4 or 5 stats, you can add one to a rare item. And that's a random too.
You add a space for one, or do you add a literal one?
You add a literal one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the mirror I talked about, that's the one to the right of the exalted orb.
Okay.
And then Regal Orb, that is turning a blue item rare. Now, these are actually exceptionally rare. They're probably very similar in rarity to the Divine Orb and the Exalted Orb, but there is a vendor recipe to get Regal Orbs. And from League mechanics, they drop a decent amount, but finding one during the campaign is actually really rare. And finding one during the campaign is really nice because if you do that vendor recipe when you're, let's say you're around level 50 and you do find a Regal Orb, and this is a great purpose for one, you would regal it after doing the recipe. Now you have, let's say, the 65% increased physical damage, and you're very unlikely to hit the flat physical, right? Because it's probably like a 1 in 20 or something. But if you don't hit it, with your crafting bench, you can craft flat physical. So that would give you a very large damage boost.
Okay.
They're a bit more common, but they're pretty rare.
Speaking of getting things from the League mechanics, do they give you different things or no?
What do you mean?
You were like, you can get Regal Orbs from doing the League mechanics. So
just some League mechanics will just shit out currency. So even though Regal Orbs are quite rare, then like this League mechanic does like give a lot of currency.
Are some leagues better than others?
Some leagues better than others? Oh yeah, absolutely. We've had objectively bad leagues, but there will always be someone that hates the league and somebody that loves the league, whether most people think it's popular. Normally what I do when people come in and be like, hey, is this league good? I'll ask chat like, hey, everybody rate the league. Because then you get like right now when I've been doing that, everyone's been like 8 to 10 and 2 or 3 people write like 5. But like Calandra, when I did that, everybody would be like 3, 4, 5.
I don't even know what Calandra. I don't know what the names of them are.
Yeah,
I know like there's the one. I know Delve, which I like.
We call it the Dark Ages.
I like that one. Then there's the one where you walk through the little future thing. It's dark and it twists.
Sanctum?
And then all things are dark. It's like, it looks like a technology wall. Like a futuristic technology wall.
Incursion.
Sure, that one. And then there's the one that I don't understand at all, like zero concept whatsoever, is when there's all the cards linked together with ropes.
Oh, Betrayal.
On your screen. Yeah, I think that's what it is. No idea what the fuck is going on there.
That's very complicated. It's probably one of the last things you'll learn.
Like zero clue. Like not even, I have no
There
idea.
are literally people with 3,000 hours in my chat that don't understand Betrayal.
Okay, so we'll just forget that one. We'll
just
not
forget that one. Yep. Just click things.
Then there's the one where you do the heist. That one's, I don't know, that one was okay.
Yeah.
It was not bad, not good. That one was fine.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Oh,
is there a lot?
There's so many. There's like 30, 40 different mechanics.
Okay. So you just always do those, and then you slurp up currencies. It's not like, so you're telling me that no matter what the level is, if like an orb of
So
transmutation drops, you pick it up.
yeah, pretty much. Just pick up all
Okay.
currency. So I
Okay.
have a video that goes over every single league mechanic and does a quick TLDR. Like, hey, this is Blight, it's tower defense. This is a really good one. You should learn this one. And then I'll be like,
Okay.
this is Syndicate. It's really complicated. You shouldn't bother learning this right now, but here's a video if you do want to learn it. So it does like a quick
Okay.
TLDR and it sells you on the best ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, let's
right.
continue with the currencies.
Okay.
So we have the Orb of Alchemy next. You've used that already, and that only works on white items.
Okay. Yes, I've been using it on my maps.
Yeah, perfect. And then
Okay.
Chaos Orbs, that works on items that are already rare. Now, the essences we talked about, they also work like alchemies, but once they're this level Screaming or above, they work like Chaos Orbs.
Level Screaming?
Yeah, so you have an essence tab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have some Screaming essences there. That's the third row. You can see like Screaming Zeal, Screaming Contempt. Once they're called Screaming, then they're basically a Chaos Orb. And if they're Wailing and below, then they're an Alchemy.
Okay. What are these for again?
So if you grab the
Upgrade a normal item to a rare item. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So these guarantee a stat. So if you look at the one, not top left, but one
Yes.
below the top left, the Screaming Hatred. Yeah, so if you see this, if you use this on jewelry, it'll guarantee cold resist. Everything else will be random. If you use it on a quiver, a belt, or armor, it'll guarantee cold resist. Everything else is random. If you use it on bow, it'll do cold damage. And the one above, it's physical damage. So these are mostly only used on weapons. The contempts, they're called. It's one above the one you're holding on.
The only way to get these is by finding them.
Yes.
Okay, because I was going to say there's no point of using the other ones if you can just use those ones.
Yeah. And we do farm a lot of those. If you open your Atlas tree, I think it's
my passive skill tree.
Yeah, Atlas passives. It's Control G, I think, by default. And you already have an Essence node there. That's perfect. That's what I was going to show you. So like the first blue node you have, that guarantees that there's one Essence. Like the first notable.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what to do about this. This was
and then you can Control F and search for Essence.
Control F.
Yeah.
Search for essence. Oh, okay.
Now you'll see like somewhere in the middle of the tree, some nodes are highlighted.
Yeah.
So you can hover over those. And hover over the notable, like the big one.
This one?
Yeah, so
Crystal
that one,
Lattice.
that's one of the rippier ones that we don't take early, but that will be that if you find an essence, it could have 3 additional. So you could have 4, 5, or 6 essences in one.
Okay.
And then the one to the right of that, it's like slightly closer to the middle. No, the highlighted one. Yeah, this one is huge. That means that if a essence has shrieking in it, and like that's just like, let's say that you're fighting a big essence monster, right? There's 5 screaming essences and 1 shrieking. All of those will double. It'll be 2 monsters. So now you're getting 10 essences from killing those 2 monsters.
Oh, okay.
And then the one northeast of here, which is under your cancel button right now.
Yes.
Amplified energies. Yeah, that is that they can spawn at shrieking or above. Because normally they can only go up to screaming, but with that one, they can go up to shrieking. So in Solus Alpha, this is pretty much the first thing that I go for. Because as soon as I have the one you have and those 2 that are close to each other, even if you're just farming tier 1 maps, you're getting really good essences per map.
Okay, so you would recommend just following the essences if you're on solo self-found.
Yeah, I always go essence and expedition are the first 2 things I take because that's like your gear crafting stuff. But there's nothing much you can do wrong on the Atlas skill tree. Like obviously you can have inefficient pathing and stuff like in Diablo, but if it's like mechanics you enjoy, like there's no bad mechanic to farm. Except maybe Ultimatum right now. But there's no bad mechanic to farm. If you're enjoying it, you're doing it right.
Ultimatum?
It's like a circle where you fight monsters, and it's just it needs a bit of a buff.
Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, cool.
But even that one's not too bad. But yeah, let's see. So we covered Chaos Orbs, and then to the right of Chaos Orbs, you have something called a veiled chaos orb. So that is the betrayal mechanic, and veiled stats are basically it'll give you an unknown stat, and it'll give you the choice between three, and these are things that you unlock in your crafting bench. So let's say that you unveiled percentage fire damage and chance to ignite. You will be able to craft that later, but at a weaker version. So when you find it, it can basically be more powerful than if you craft it. So it's a pretty cool mechanic.
Okay.
But that is
Okay.
a pretty complicated one, so you don't necessarily need to delve into that right now. And
Okay.
below you have divine orbs. This is basically Path of Exile gold. Gold, chaos and divine orbs are like the main trading staple. Like that's what people would use for trading.
So why does everyone want them if everyone's playing SSF?
So in SSF, we do something called meta crafting. Here, I can show you. Let's see. I'm going to screen share with you. So you can show this
Okay.
on stream if you want. Right. Let me know when you can see.
No. Do I have to click something?
Yes.
What do I have to click?
Let's see. You have to, on Discord, you have to like click our conversations, and there should be some sort of like eye. Like an eye with a plus. You might have to.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Got you. Okay, let me open. Hold on. Let me show chat. Okay.
Right. So this is Craft of Exile.
Oh, there's another one?
This is a website where you can basically simulate crafting.
There's What was the other one that I just downloaded
Path
called?
of Building.
Oh,
Path
there's
of
another
Building is
one.
basically for following build guides. This is for learning crafting.
Path of Exile. That's cute. Name.
Yeah, it's very nice. So like here I can choose base types and stuff like that. And if it's gonna have like a special type of influence, that's like endgame extra things on gear where they can roll specific things. That's if you've ever seen like glowy items, that could be like an influence. So
Okay.
so if I just use an alchemy, right, I'm probably just gonna get something bad, but there are things that I can do to get some really, really good items. So here I can simulate essences. And this is why, as an endgame player, I'll be farming literally hundreds of essences. So I'll be going for... I can just show you a craft I've been doing a lot this lately for a ring and show you why we use divine orbs.
Okay.
So first I would maybe be spamming... here's a sort of good example. So let's say that this didn't exist, right? Or actually, I can show an annulment here. So right now I've used one Essence of Seal, and I got the guaranteed cast speed, right? And then the other
Okay.
mods are random. So I don't care about the lightning damage attacks at all. That's
Okay.
irrelevant. And then we will look at the suffixes. Well, right now I have tier 4 life regen. That's kind of bad. And I have cold resist. So now I think, okay, if I can get rid of the life regen, maybe I can do something with this. So then I use an Orb of Annulment, and boom, streamer RNG, first try, it is now gone. Now, here is where the Divine Orbs come into play, even on SSF, because on Trade League, people want to buy them because they're valuable for what I'm about to show you, but also for changing the numbers on items, right? If a unique item has, let's say, a range between 0 damage to 40 damage, a Divine can change that roll.
Okay.
And you can see that by holding Alt. It'll like show you the ranges. But now
Okay.
what we do is we go to, let's see, we craft something called suffixes cannot be changed. And this costs 2 divine orbs. And this is like, yeah, we use a lot of divine orbs for crafting. And this is sort of like, well, it's an easy example of endgame crafting in Path of Exile. So now we have this, right? We have a prefix called suffixes cannot be changed. And that means that these two are saved. So nothing.
Wait, are you still screen sharing that?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Hold on. No, hold on. Wait. Okay, yeah, it's back.
Okay, cool. So this is like even though Path of Exile crafting does get very complicated, I just want to try to explain why divines are expensive.
Yeah.
So have you experimented with harvest at all?
I don't know.
Okay. It's
Depends
like
on what to harvest.
big colorful fields. They're like blue, purple, or yellow, and there'll be loads of
Yes. And you
monsters.
click this. You click the machine in the field.
Yeah, it's like a smoothie
Okay.
maker, and the monsters are the fruit, and you just like turn them into juice.
Okay.
And
Cool.
that juice is used for crafting. So, for example, one of the things we can get is for 100 yellow juice, you can do Reforged Chaos. So now,
Wait, do you want to pick a color based on a juice that you want, or are
yeah,
they all random?
no,
Oh, you do.
yeah. So
I've
I'm
been
target
randomly
farming
picking around.
yellow.
Okay.
And then for 100 yellow juice, which is pretty cheap, easy to get, now that I have suffixes cannot be changed, and if I do Reforged Chaos, this is now guaranteed to get Chaos Resist.
Okay.
And now I got really lucky. Now people would again be like, oh my god, fucking streamers, because I hit life naturally.
Fucking streamers.
I know.
Oh,
So now I have the Chaos Resist.
suck.
But here's another reason for why divines are so expensive. Now in the end game, let's say that we didn't hit, like, let's say that instead we hit let me show a normal one. So like I'm not a streamer. I'm a normal person. I don't have special streamer clients.
Streamers are just like you, me and you guys. We're just like you. We're normal.
So I got
We're not
physical attack
special.
damage leashes life instead, right? And maybe even like evasion rating. Like, oh my god, what a bad ring. But
Oh,
now
totally. I know why that's so bad. I know for sure.
but it doesn't have life, right? And we want life on every gear. So now we
Okay.
again spend another 2 divines, and then we use the other we can use a veiled chaos orb and show that. And then it deletes the other prefixes because they weren't saved by the suffixes cannot be changed. So that like protects the item basically. And now I have that veiled prefix. And this is more complicated. This isn't super important, but we can block mana and now we can guarantee life. So that's why divine orbs are so expensive, because you can basically deterministically craft gear. And Path of Exile doesn't have a lot of deterministically crafted gear, but that's where divine orbs come in. So
Then how do you give that to other people if you're on SSF?
you don't.
Or do they just gold to you personally?
Yeah. Divine orbs you just use for crafting. So this ring would have cost me 4 divines to make.
Okay. Got it. I absorbed about 5% of what you literally just did, but I understand the concept.
Yeah. No, this was just to explain why they're expensive. That's the fact.
Okay.
Divines are expensive because we can deterministically create gear.
Okay. You can craft your perfect gear if you use divines.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
We can go back to. We'll show your client again. So, and if you hover over your bow right now and hold Alt, you can see those ranges, and that's the base used for divine orbs. So you can see that the lightning goes from 25 to 425 at a top roll. So you actually have a pretty top rolled gear bow. Oh, and do you know? Has anyone told you why your chaos damage looks different?
No.
So that's a fractured stat, and that basically means it's hard coded. So even if you were to scour that item, it would actually keep the chaos damage there no matter what. Like you can't get rid of that.
Okay.
So
is that good or bad?
That's very good for crafting, because let's say that for the build you're playing, you would want tier 1 lightning damage, right? You have tier 3 right now. But if you had a bow with tier 1 lightning damage, then that would and if that was fractured, that would be guaranteed no matter what. So now we could use a fire damage or cold damage essence, and then you have 2 really high stats guaranteed just by using 1 essence plus having fractured gear. So it's
I understood nothing. I understood nothing of what you just said.
I know. I wonder if you wait. The chest in your inventory, that's fractured too. Identify it.
This?
No, the one in your inventory.
Oh, this?
Oh, is it synthesized? No. Yeah, identify it. Yeah, it's fractured. Perfect. Okay, use a chaos orb on that. Just 1 chaos orb.
Okay.
There. So you see that is hard coded on it. Even though you see chaos orb on it, it can never remove that.
The suppressed spell damage thing?
Yeah. So that no matter what you do, you can scour that item right now and that will stay on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that what I wanted on there?
I mean, it is a very good stat, but it is it's very low.
What if you get something that you didn't want and now it's stuck?
Then the item is bricked and you just sell it to the vendor.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yep.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Risk it for the biscuit. But yeah, and you can actually, one of the orbs is a fracturing orb, which will fracture a random piece. But that's
What?
very
Let me
expensive.
just break it.
Yeah, you can literally just break it.
Why would you do that?
Because if it fractures the stat you want, then that's like hard coded on it, so you can continue crafting, and that'll be guaranteed on it.
Okay.
So that's like more advanced crafting, but yeah, it's like save gaming a stat, sort of.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And then below the Divine Orb,
Some save.
we have Horizon Orb. This one's
Okay.
more complicated than it seems. So it reforges a map.
PoE.
I know. Um,
That seems to be the theme.
yeah, this is an orb where you really need to get it explained because I've had so many players that have been playing a lot and they've been using it and they don't get it. So if you open your Atlas right now,
Oh, hold on. Is my music been playing in the background?
nope, I don't hear it
Turn
at
that
least.
off. Turn it down, just in case. Okay. What were you saying? Sorry.
Open your Atlas.
Okay.
Just G. No, your actual Atlas. Click G.
G.
There you go.
Okay.
So you see that there's like a little box below the blue thing at the bottom? Yeah. There's like a little open box there. Later on, when you've killed bosses, you get something called void stones. Like, I don't know if you've been watching other streamers at all, but you might see that their entire atlas is red and everything is tier 16 maps.
No, I can't. I try to watch PoE streamers, and it's like watching someone speak a completely different language to me.
100%. 100%.
I was like, this isn't working.
Yeah. So the atlas in the state that you're looking at it now is what we call the natural atlas. So these are the default tiers. So if you control F and search for 1.
Search for 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you have to search. No, the number 1.
Oh.
Yeah. Now you can see that it's highlighting all the tier 1 maps. And then if you search for 2.
And tier 1 is
yeah,
better than tier 2 and 3?
No. Tier 1 is the lowest. But that's kind of unintuitive, yeah, because tier 1 items are the best. So that's kind of funny. So like, and yeah, like if you just keep going up, then you can see like those are all the tiers and they keep expanding. And that goes all the way up to tier 16. So horizon orbs will always adhere to this. So if you look at Park, which I think is a tier 9 on the left.
Park. On the left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. A channel map with a horizon can turn into a park. But later on, when you get those endgame void stones, there might be like if you have 4 void stones in every map on your atlas can be a tier 16, but horizons won't change to that at all. So horizons will generally only move between like the 5 or 6 maps of that tier. Learning that early is like pretty important because.
Can you say that again for me?
Yeah. So the channel map that you have, it's the only filled in map. Or actually, you have 2 filled in maps. You can see it's the 4th one. If you hover over that.
How do you see if it's filled in or not?
If it's like colored in.
These all look the same to me. Oh, this one.
No, all the way up. Almost the top. There you go. That one. So a channel map that can turn into a park.
Okay.
And it can turn into the map to the whatever the right of that is. I think that might be City Square. No. Yeah, Sepulture. It can turn into that. But it can't turn into like. It can't turn into any tier 9 map. Just the ones that are on the Atlas in this state. It's a little bit complicated. But later on, you basically have things that you can do that will let any map be tier 16. So that you can choose whatever map you want to farm.
Okay. I'm barely grasping the concept of this.
Yeah, it's a little complicated.
But we're kind of getting there. But not. Yeah. But I'm gonna have to rewatch this video back for this to absorb it.
Yeah, we can do refresher courses too.
Okay, good.
But yeah, because horizons are very good early to get. Like, say you're missing one map of a tier, you can use horizons.
Oh, so the ones with the yellow filled in are. I see that has like a little yellow bit, and that has a white one.
Yep.
So you want them all to be yellow?
Yep. Go open your map tab. I want to teach you something just in the case that it just comes naturally to you, understand it, because it's so important. Go to your tier 2 tab. Now, this is very complicated. Let's see. There's a map you have 6 of there.
Okay.
Yeah, grab all of those. So this is very
Okay.
complicated, but even if it teaches one person, I'd say it's the most important mapping tip. No, I'm not going to teach her map equity. Right. Go to the vendor. Or actually, before you go to the vendor, open the atlas again by clicking G.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was a field map we picked up, right?
I think. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So go find field map on the atlas. It's you can just search for it.
How do you spell field? F-I-E-L-D or
F-I-E-L-D.
there.
Yeah. There you go. So it's all the way on the
Where is
bottom
it?
right,
There.
and it's a tier 2 map. So if you search for tier 3 right now,
Search in here for tier 3?
just search for 3.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see all of those maps, and you can hover over them and look at a few of the names. Yes, it's like Rampart, Overgrown Shrine, etc. Now,
Oh, so they're all different maps set for each level.
yeah, so all of those are tier 3 maps. And there's a vendor
Okay.
recipe here that is really, really good. So now go open the sell window off a vendor.
Sell window off of any vendor.
Yeah. Any vendor.
How do I know who's a vendor versus not a vendor?
Yeah, there.
We
Right.
found one.
Now try, don't like click sell, but put 3 fields, just control click them into the vendor. Now that sells for a chateau. And basically in the Path of Exile database, these are all, well, I don't know what else to call them other than unique items. Like not as in like the rarity unique, but they are their own item, right? Like in a database, they would have their own unique item ID, whether that is like their item ID 1,000,001 and 1,000,002 and 1,000,003, right? Like they don't stack like currency. Like the 8 transmutes in your inventory, they don't have a unique item ID because
So like this chateau map is different to the next one, and
exactly
different to the next one.
exactly
Okay,
perfect.
I get
Great.
everything.
Right. Now, if you take the bottom one out here, take the bottom one out, and then put in any of the other ones that haven't been in before.
A different type of map?
No,
or a
the
different
same one.
map?
Just any of the other 6.
I don't know which one.
Just pick
which one it was.
Do that one.
Okay, here we go.
Now this sells for
So
Castle Ruins.
Okay.
So this is a little bit like my best explanation is like it's like a chemistry set, and they're all just like different numbers you're playing around with. So if you take out the bottom one now and set in the top right one, yeah. And now it's Castle Ruins again. That's just by chance. They are like, you can now take out the middle one. And then put in the first one you had again, the bottom left one. Now it sells for another map. Oh, that's Chateau again. Okay, take out the top one. These are just random. Like it'll now just pick any map of the tier above.
So I really like these ones.
Yeah. Take the, there you go.
There you go.
Ramparts. So once you have, I can't remember if it's once you need 7 or 8 of the same map. But you then have access to any map of the tier above. So this can only turn into any map of the tier above. But yeah, it's just like a really, really good recipe.
So if I put 7 field maps in, I would get a tier above of any other random map of the tier above that.
No, I'll try to explain it better.
Oh.
So with 7, you have like, I don't know the actual math number, but you have a lot of different combinations. So if you now put in the same combo you had first, the 3 on the left, those are always going to sell for the same map. But you can just keep playing around by like removing one and putting in a different one that you haven't had before, so that combo, those 3 specific maps haven't been there, and it'll give a random of the tier above. So you just play around with it. It's kind of like jigging a car until you get the map you want.
Okay, no, I understand.
Whereas if you have
each recipe will give you the exact same thing, but there's a million recipes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So once you have, let's say you had 13 fields maps, just by playing around with selling 3 different copies, like eventually you'll find the map you want on the one above.
Okay, yes, I understand.
Yeah. So it's pretty useful, especially if you get stuck on a map early on. And there is actually like 60, 70 PoE recipes or something. And there is a Wikipedia article. I don't know if anyone's told you yet, but you really want to use the PoE wiki, not the fandom one.
No, I don't even know what that is.
So
I haven't even seen it.
anytime you're googling anything about PoE, just don't Google like PoE Axis. Google PoE Wiki Axis.
Okay.
The fandom wiki is outdated by like 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Okay. So now, so let's say my intention, right?
Mm-hmm.
My daily intention. I'm loading up PoE and I'm going to do my maps. My daily intention is what? To find those missing maps, or to...
So you really want to just keep setting yourself goals in PoE. That's generally what most people do. So like a great first early goal is complete the entire atlas, right? Like fill
Okay.
in every map, and getting some of
Okay.
the uniques can be really tricky. So you might have to do that over time. On Trade League, people just buy them, and
Okay.
there is one unique map that you won't be able to complete. It's not on the atlas, thankfully, but there's one called Hologram Masters. This is slightly differently than a player designed one, but any player could pay $500 to get a character in there. So people have done like the roughest, harshest characters that will one shot you.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was a Riot employee. A Riot employee tweeted, I found a unique map called Hologram Masters. Rip my 8 divine animate guardian. So he lost
Oh
everything. It
no.
was kind of
That's
funny.
so sad.
Yes, but very fun. Um, it's just that, yeah, PoE players are toxic.
What about these
So
on the
those are
side
master
here?
missions. So it's the white, yellow, and red missions. So if you look at the bottom one, that's Kirak. Hey,
Um,
wow. Oh, wow. That was a duo that just died. That's great.
um,
They just lost their
yeah, my chat.
characters, even though they're softcore players.
A moment of silence.
Yeah, moment of silence for our lost softcore friends. But yeah, Kirak missions, that's like how you open the maps I taught you. And then the 3, that's the white missions. The 8 is the yellow missions, and you have 0 red missions right now. And you get them
Ah,
like if you're spamming yellow maps, you're gonna get yellow missions. If you're spamming red maps, you're gonna spam red missions. And as long as you've done one red map every day at midnight UK time, you will get red missions for the rest of the league.
if you do one red map every night
Yeah, it's think of it
at
as like you have unlocked obtaining red missions. So right now the highest you've done is yellow. So every day
yeah.
you'll get a set of yellow missions.
Where do you get the? Do you get the missions with that guy? This guy?
No, they just appear
This
in that
Atlas mission
tab.
thing?
No. So it'll actually show you on the map device. So you can go to your hideout,
Uh,
and that's how you activate them. So let's see. We'll go to the map device and I'll show you there. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to complete a red map each day. It's just if you've done it once per league, then it's just giving you that daily.
Oh, okay. Oh, this thing.
No, that's the Kirak missions, but the ones slightly above that.
This?
Yeah, there you go. So that is incursion. And then you have first, the left one is Einar, that's the beast. It's like Pokemon. And then you have incursion, which is build your own temple. You have delve, which is like the underground area. And then the last one is the crazy betrayal board. That's super complicated.
Okay, so
So if you now
we
put
supposed
in
to
a
click
map,
one.
yeah, if you put in a map and open that, then you would guarantee that that mechanic is on that map.
Okay, and then is that also what those scarab things do?
Yes. Yeah. But they
They're just
will
like
have other
layering.
things than master missions. Scarabs can have, for example, that there can be Elder portals, Shaper portals. It can be more uniques, more divination cards, Abyss, Breach, and other league mechanics.
Oh, okay. I don't even know what those are.
Yeah, those mechanics are just things that can appear in maps and like maybe have their own drops, their own uniques. They're usually old leagues, leagues that like used to be the main league and just went core and are now part of the game.
Okay. Okay. I got it. I think.
Yeah. I mean, it is a very, very hard game, so not everything is going to stick. But one thing that is kind of handy about, I don't know what else to call it, than over-learning, like learning things that you maybe don't understand now, is maybe later you'll see something and you'll be like, oh, I get it.
Yes. I'm also going to rewatch. Oh, it's like when you first start listening to people talk about PoE, it's like I said, it's people are just like talking a completely different language.
Yeah.
But I think just the more you rehear it, it'll start to make sense.
100%. 100%.
like
It's a very
like another
complicated game.
language.
I would actually say like I have 14,000 hours in EVE Online, and Path of Exile is like 5-6 times more complicated than EVE Online. And people say EVE Online is
I,
complicated.
I haven't played that.
Yeah, it's spreadsheets in space.
Spreadsheets in space.
Yeah.
Love spreadsheets. PoE loves spreadsheets. That's what happened when I opened up that other PoE building thing.
This could be a fun series, though. We can do this. I have a great idea that you get to maps on your solo self on Bone Shatter character, and we
Okay.
see how that goes. Then we do another like 30-minute hour talk, and I help you with your Bone Shatter, and then we can do a before and after.
You got yourself a deal.
All right.
I'm like a good test subject for you might not have such a fresh noob at your hands, at your disposal.
Exactly. I love doing
I
calls
take
with new players. So I've done this before with other streamers as well. So I'll see if I'll do some other with like more of the Diablo 4 refugees as well.
Okay. I'm so keen.
Awesome. I think
So I
that
gotta
this
get
is
to
a
work.
good place to end it though for the first
Yeah.
session.
I'm gonna go get through my 10x
Awesome.
on my
And then
SSF.
for everyone watching on YouTube, that was Rachel K, amazing streamer. Go make sure you follow her on YouTube and Twitch, etc. Thanks so much for doing this with me. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My
All
brain
right.
is bursting.
That's awesome. All right. Do you know my
Bye.
catchphrase?
The one that you taught me earlier?
No. That's Karn's catchphrase. Mine's try to die less than I do. It's all good. Thanks for watching and try to die less than I do.